Hi friends, Kara with Paper Confessions with Kara Mia and myself are exchanging journals, and our inspiration is Miss Rumphius. And not only are we exchanging journals, we are also exchanging summer letters, and I wanted to do something creative. I thought this was a great time to think out of the box and do something a little bit creative. So I thought I would go ahead, this is shiny because it's the cover of the book. So I thought I would go ahead and use the cover of the book. And I thought, well, what am I gonna do with it, right? I mean, it's big, it's really big. So then I remembered I'd been hanging on to this piano roll, like it's the roll after the paper is gone, you know, how we use the paper in our crafting. And I hadn't gotten rid of the roll because I thought, well, maybe I can do something with it. Well, I've decided to make a scroll with it. So here's my thought. I'm going to leave the cover on this sort of as a protector, plus it feels neat. I love the sound and I like the way it feels. But when we open it up, you'll notice there's a piece of tape here. I went ahead and I cut that with my razor. So this will lift up now, so that's no problem. This is paper, so I can do my summer letter on that paper. But I don't like this part here that flaps. So I was thinking, and I think let's have a look at it together. When we open it up, we've got, okay, so this is interesting. We've got paper, but it's here. And it's got this stamping on it. So here, let me move this out more so you can see. There you go. So it's got the stamping on it. So I might go ahead and get rid of that. And I'm thinking I might go ahead and cut this down so that it's not quite so wide. I'd like it to maybe stop here, and I can put a piece of tape, or I'll just glue it. It'll look better if I glue it across here. And then now that I'm looking at this, it might behoove me to use some different paper rather than this. But I'm not going to take this apart because it's glued right here. So I'll leave this where it is, but I'll go ahead and tape some fresh paper in there. So I just figured I would do this on camera in case you wanted to be creative and do something similar. You know how we like to use the parts of all the goodies that we get. So let's start by cutting this. And I'm sorry, I don't have the entire thing on screen because it's so large. But I'm cutting. And you should probably be able to see my scissors moving across the screen now. You know how you get that sweet spot on the scissors and you can just slice across and you don't have to do this? That was beautiful. All right, so all this is now is the plastic and some of the paper. I do not think I'm going to need this piece. So I'm going to go ahead and move it out of the way. And then I think what I'll do, before we do anything, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna see I wonder if glue will adhere this. I wonder, what's under here? This might be double stick tape. You know what, let's just go ahead and double stick tape it, just because I think that's what's on the other side, and it's pretty much guaranteed to stay glued down if we use the tape. And I just recently replenished my double stick tape, so I can be liberal if I need to. And actually, I'm gonna put, I don't know if you can see, let me move this up so you can. I'm gonna put a clothespin here just to hold that open so I can get the tape on. I don't want it to close, I don't want it to go down until I get this taped into place. I think this is the best way to do this, and then we'll cover this whole thing with fresh paper. And it's a good thing because I keep getting like dirt or something on this double stick tape. Stuff's coming from my desk. I don't know if it's dirt or little paper bits from my projects or what. All right, now I think we can go ahead. I'll release that. And we'll just press down on it. That should keep everything in place. Yep, there we go. We are in good shape. Okay, so part 1 is done. Now part 2 is going to be, let's add some fresh paper over top. I have changed my mind and I've decided I really want to make this different. I want to make it unique. So I've decided I'm going to go ahead and actually add fabric. Now, how am I going to do my summer letter when there's going to be fabric in there? Maybe I add paper on top of that. I haven't figured that out yet, but I just think it'll be really cool to have some fabric over it. So what I'm going to need to do, what is this? This is a sham. This is a pillow sham. That's perfect. And actually, the length is just about perfect as well. So that's going to be nice. I should be able to use one piece of this sham and it'll cover the whole length of the letter. And actually, while we're having some fun and we've got this out, so here's our roll. So it's definitely going to be wide enough, which is fantastic. So first things first, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to grab my scissors and I'm going to cut. I'm going to see if this will tear. Yeah, so that's great because tearing is frequently a lot faster than cutting. All right, friends, I got the book cover glued to the fabric. You can see it here. Now I'm going to take my hot glue gun and I'm going to put a bead of hot glue across here. I'm going to fold this up. So when we roll it, we'll see the outside of the book cover. I'm going to use my hot glue gun and I will be doing several beads of hot glue just to make sure that this adheres to the piano roll really well. I'll be adding the beads of glue and then pressing the fabric on until we can no longer see the roll. I have that glued on there the way that I want, so I'm rolling it up just to test it out, give it a dry run basically. I've opened it back up and there's a part of the book that's not necessary to see, and I have this extra fabric hanging down. So I'm going to go ahead and glue the fabric over top of the end of the book cover. It's the book cover. So I'm gluing that down so everything's got a nice clean look. I wrote my summer letter on a piece of fiber paper. I don't know what to call it. It's not rice paper and it's not mulberry paper, but it's some sort of paper that has fibers in it. I printed the summer letter out on that, and now I am gluing that down to the fabric. It's a pretty resilient paper, relatively thick, so I'm just going to use my hot glue, and I'm going a few inches at a time. I want to add some more detailing, so I'm going to use this ribbon and put a piece of it down both sides and across the bottom. I really want to make this extra special, a little bit over the top, because I think Kara will love it. So I'm adding more trim, and this is a sort of some frilly trim that I added to the bottom, and up at the top I have this beautiful floral trim, so I'm going to add that at the very top. We're going to roll it up just to make sure nothing's in the way, that everything's where it should be, and it rolls up perfectly fine. Now I want to add some detail to the end here, because this is the end that will show when it's rolled up as a scroll. I'm going to put 2 layers on. First, the sort of more of the flat lace or trim, and then I'm going to use the frilly one over top of that.
I've decided that more is better, and so I'm going to go down both sides of the scroll with this frilly lace. Now this is going down the outside where the book cover is.
All right, my friends, I want to show you the finished scroll. So I went ahead and I embellished it. So you can see some ruffles here and a layer of, I don't know what this is, I guess trim, and then more ruffles. And then I've added a flower and a flower here. And then as we start to unroll it, which is what we're getting ready to do, I'll show you the back first. And the back, remember, is the side with the book cover, covered in plastic. And here that is. Sorry about the glare, it's just the nature of the beast here. So now I'm gonna flip this over, and the summer letter goes a long way. So at the top, you saw me put the lace in, or the, I guess, floral trim. And then there's the letter, which I hot glued onto it, and this is like rice paper. Added trim here. And then, let's move up a little bit so you can see it. I signed it. And then down here at the bottom, I embellished it with 2 buttons and more of that nice trim. And then just so that you can see the very bottom, this is the very bottom. That's the part with the other side that has the flowers and all the trim, so that when it rolls up, it just looks pretty. So I'm going to roll this up, and then I am going to add some tulle ribbon to it to keep it closed. Here, let's shake these down. There we go. All right, I'm going to go grab my ribbon. Now, friends, I'm also making a journal for Kara, but I am not creating that journal on camera. But I wanted to create this on camera because it's something I had never done, and I thought it was really fun and unusual and just fun. So I wanted to share the process in case you had a piano roll thing that you didn't know what to do with. This is a great idea. I think you also could use a paper towel roll and just adorn the ends of it with something. So anyway, friends, I appreciate you being here and checking out this project. Thanks for watching. See you soon.